USS COD, World War II Submarine Museum. It says it's open, so I'm going to go inside and see what's going on inside there. You can see off in the distance is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And downtown is just over there. Actually, the football stadium's straight ahead too, if you can see it. Okay, now we're gonna go down. Gotta watch my head.
I wonder what goes in there.
Torpedoes.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Chief Torpedoman Dan Cruisenklaus. You've laid below in naval language in the forward torpedo room. Look forward and you'll see COD's 6 torpedo tubes, 3 starboard and 3 port. We leave our base with a fish, as we call them, in every tube, plus 10 reloads. COD carries 2 types of torpedoes, a 22-foot 3,000-pound Mark 14, which can go over 50 miles per hour for over 2 miles and deliver 650 pounds of high explosive torpex into the hull of enemy ships. We have a cutaway Mark 14 for you to inspect on the starboard side top rack. Our Mark 14 torpedoes are good weapons, but they also leave a telltale wake enemy destroyers can follow back to attack us with depth charges. Our Mark 18 electric torpedoes don't go as fast, about 30 miles per hour, but don't leave a wake and can't be spotted by lookouts on enemy ships. We have a Mark 18 on the port side top rack for your inspection. The torpedoes are fired electrically from the conning tower, although we also hit a mechanical fire switch here at the same time in case there's any problem with the fire control system. You're probably wondering about the bunks here in the compartment. The truth is, 90% of the time, this compartment is a bedroom with the racks rigged out for sleeping. When we're at battle stations, everything is quickly stowed away and we're ready for action. Speaking of stowing away, you've noticed we don't have a lot of extra space aboard. So the green bunk bags hold crewmen's personal items, and there are small lockers on the bulkhead, but those are used by the senior rates in the compartment. We travel light here on the COD. It may seem strange, but the torpedo room is a favorite place to sleep because it's usually cooler and more quiet here than the rest of the boat. Well, it's time for my watch, but stay and look as long as you like. Good to have you aboard.
Hello? Yes, I'd like a large pepperoni pizza, please. Sure, thanks, bye. Let's go into the next compartment now.
Little bit. So you've got to be short people to sleep in here.
There's a shower.
What did tall men do? Record player.
Some more sleeping quarters over here. Dining area. I wouldn't want to be on the middle bunk. Time to go into the next compartment.
This is the control room.
Very dark in here.
Until they came aboard COD, but they sure love it now. You might have noticed canned food in various places throughout the boat. We have to carry enough food to feed 90 men or more for 75 days at sea. So every available space is used to store our food. Plus, there's a cold food locker below where we store more than a ton of meat, fresh vegetables, and eggs.
Hi folks, how you doing?
The crew mess is where the crew has their regular
How are you?
24 men at one time. It's also our recreation room, library, and movie theater. That's right, movies. We love them. A favorite? Well, that one with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, The Have and Have Not. That's a good one. And 30 Seconds Over Tokyo is pretty exciting.
Hi folks,
You doing all right?
welcome aboard. Any questions about the sub I can help you with?
Not yet. Not
No.
yet.
You made it this far and no question. Well, that's
Right?
all right.
How do people get into the middle bunk?
Well,
Over there?
Well,
Well-
look at that. They were small back.
Well, I guess you got to fold yourself up. There's actually more bunks just over here. There's 36 bunks in this room here, so snorers were not appreciated, I don't think.
They kicked me overboard.
A1 was pretty popular back then, or what?
Yeah, it was. You can read on the label. It's 1862, so it's pretty old. So they had it back then. They had Heinz ketchup, and they had the Carnation milk. It was bought in cans, but that's what they used for their coffee. Rather than having fresh milk, they'd have use canned milk in their coffee if they wanted it. Here's a menu. Weekly menu of the kind of foods that they ate. It was all made in that little galley that you just passed, and some really good food on there. If you look on Thursday about dinner time for lunch, there it's sirloin strip steaks.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. I look on there and I say that's better than what I'm having tonight.
So how many people would eat in here at one time?
Well, there's 6 place settings at a table.
But would they always be filled up?
Oh yeah. There's 97 men aboard, so they would it'd be at least 3 sittings here. The officers ate up in the wardroom area, and then the enlisted men, you'd have to have 3 or more sittings to come in here. The guys had about 10 to 12 minutes to come in here, grab their food,
And who
wolf
got
it down, and then
how did it determine who was first, second, or third group?
They made it around the watch schedules. They tried to make it around the watch schedules, so shift changes basically. So the crew that was going to be going on watch, they came in first, and then the crew that just came off watch, they'd come in second, and then the third shift that wasn't going on or off, they'd come in last.
Did it get even warmer when they went down in water with the temperature and the?
So on the surface, there was plenty of ventilation. You could run the ventilation system, including the air conditioning. When you dived, that was probably the hottest part because you shut off your ventilation system. You had to shut off your AC. and you had all the latent heat from the engines that had to be shut off, and then everything was closed up. So it got pretty hot, especially in the engine rooms real quick. It got probably up to 115,
That's
120
this way.
degrees.
We didn't get there yet.
You didn't get there yet. And then it slowly dissipated, but it was hottest right
Because it's
after
pretty
diving.
muggy in here already, and we're on the surface.
Well, we don't have our AC running yet. We do have our ventilation system is going, and it's the original 1942 ventilation system. If you put your hand here, you can feel it's blowing through here. It's one of the outlets. And when you get to the forward engine room, the main ventilator motor is going to be right over your head, so you'll hear it real loud.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Tony.
Sure. You got any other questions?
No, I'm good. Ready?
I would have been the cook.
You would? Well, you had to make all your meals in that little small galley over there.
Do it.
It ran 24 hours a day, and they made the baker would work. That George here was here. He was the baker, and he worked midnight to 4 a.m. and he would bake all the bread, pies, rolls, cakes, donuts, and everything during the midnight shift, and then they would come and start making the regular meals for the troops here.
Ooh, ice cream maker. Well, these beds look softer than the other ones. Or longer, too. Once again, it's dark. 97 members on this
Yeah,
submarine.
like 97 people.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand when somebody's in the kitchen.
And 97. Pretty cramped. Best spot so far right here next to this fan. Another toilet. There's the ringer.
Glad to have you here with us in the maneuvering room. You've just seen COD's big GM diesel engine, and as you've probably noticed by now, COD is a very complex vessel. The best technology the Navy has here in 1944. Basically, the maneuvering room is the gas pedal of the boat. The big shiny levers you see on your left control power distribution. The gauges on the panel in front of the control levers tell us exactly what our electric output is and how fast we're going. The skipper uses the motor order telegraph to tell us how fast he wants COD to go. How fast is COD? On the surface, she's a real speedboat, capable of traveling up to 22 knots or nautical miles per hour. Fast enough to outrun her targets and lie in wait to set up her attack. Underwater, COD can make up to 9 knots per hour, but that speed would quickly deplete the batteries. So she usually travels at 3 to 4 knots when we're submerged, allowing us to stay under for 24 hours or more. When the skipper gives the order to dive, we cut the diesel engines and engage the batteries. The most important thing to remember is whether COD is running on the surface on her teeth or submerged using battery power. The boat is actually given by powerful electric motors located under the maneuvering room. She's an all-electric vessel, using diesel power and batteries to generate that electricity. If you take a closer look at the photograph of the maneuvering room, you'll see that one of the electricity rings is where it's underneath that hole. That's because of the specific gravity of every one of COD's batteries on that reason. The batteries always just stand up on our face.
Yeah, we made it.
Hope you liked it.
Thank you.
Thank you.